like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Hey, 436-MeTV option 11 is the number if you want to call in and ask a question to the Congressman from the Tulare area. He is here live in our studio today. We'll be talking about water, Benghazi, a few other things. Back with our show in just a moment. Back here on the program on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day, 436-MeTV option 11 is the telephone number. Do turn down the sound, though, if you call in. We do have a congressman in the House. He represents the South Valley, but also parts of Fresno and Clovis as well. You know him well. He's been in office for many years. We'll talk about water today. And aren't you surprised at this point, considering what's going on, that Fresno hasn't put a mandate yet on how much water you can actually use? I know we have water meters, but putting a mandate would seem, I don't know, the right thing to do at this point, considering, well, is there a water shortage, or have we just not stored the proper amount of water? Take you to the videotape, show you what I'm talking about. You know, my friends, the next time that you sprinkle or turn the sprinklers on to water your lawn, either the front or the back lawn or the side if you live on a corner house, just remember that Millerton Lake is only at 40% capacity at best. Maybe it's down a little bit more than that now. I think the next time you take a shower, take a bath, brush your teeth, remember Millerton Lake is no more than about 40% capacity right now. So we can't waste water at this point, and you know, it's a political football right now. Congress, the Senate, you got the congressman involved, you got Dianne Feinstein, there's somebody washing. Remember the 15-second rule: when you wash your hands, no more than 15 or 30 seconds, don't waste the water. Live in our studio right now is Devin Nunes. He's a congressman representing the South Valley, but also Fresno and the Clovis area. It's his second appearance live here on Connect with Me on the showroom floor, 436-MeTV option 11. We'll talk about the water issues. We'll talk about the Friant Water Authority, of course. We talked about that before. We'll also talk a little bit about some other issues going on nationally today, and also Benghazi. We touched on that the last time the congressman was here. Do call in, but do turn down the sound. We're back live with our program in a moment.
Don't you ever hit me again!
Chief, I think we got a hit on our hands.
MeTV Fresno, now on Comcast Channel 187.
Is the water issue an important one for you when you take a shower, when you brush your teeth, when you shave? Do you even care when you turn the faucet on that Millerton Lake, you know that big mound that usually is, you know, I mean, you can't see it because the water covers it. Now that mound is fully exposed. We'll show that video later in the program, but Devin Nunes is here, the congressman.
John, nice to be with you again.
Hey, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me again.
All right, I appreciate your time coming back on the program. So the water issue. Since the last time you were here, this thing has really heated up. We've got a phone call already. Let's take that, and then I'll ask my question. Good morning. You're on with the congressman. Your question quickly, please.
Yes, my question is, why haven't we started conserving water yet?
I'm not quite sure I know the answer to that. Maybe you can pick up on that.
Well, we do conserve water all the time, depending on what town or city that you live in. You can only water your grass so many days a week.
Right.
Now there's some towns that won't even allow you to wash off your driveway. You can't even wash your car. So those attempts are being made. I think the fundamental problem, though, is that we are short several million acre-feet a year on average here, because we get our water from primarily two locations. One is the Delta, that pumps the water into the big aqueducts that you see on the west side of the valley, and the other is the San Joaquin River, where back in '08, the Congress passed a law to basically allow for water to be wasted down that river. And that's what's going on here, is that you take a couple dry years with a really bad dry year like this one, and you have a catastrophic situation where you have a real water shortage.
Are you talking about the deal that the Frant Water Authority struck in 2008?
Yeah, the San Joaquin River
Restoration Project that was signed by Pelosi and company, the Democrats, back in 2008, 2009. And, that's been pretty much a sore subject with you, right? Why would they sign a deal with the opposition to allow them to have this water, yet the Frant Water Authority is yelling? They represent a lot of East Side farmers, maybe 15,000 East Side farmers. They're yelling they don't have enough water, yet they signed this deal in 2008, so it's a contradiction.
It's a major contradiction, that's correct. They're trying to have it both ways. So they're trying to have it where they tell their farmers, all the managers, lawyers, and lobbyists say, oh, we had to make this deal. Well, now that they ran out of water, they're trying to tell their farmers, well, it's a dry year. No, it's not a dry year. It's a dry year, but it's made worse by the deal that they made.
The deal, and plus no storage, not enough storage.
Right.
Right. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question?
Hey, good morning with you guys.
Good.
I'm just curious on your guys' policies on this. We've adopted a lot of stuff in the past that has to do with the military stuff, with our yellow now and red and green things going on. I'm wondering why no one has come up with the simple thing of, if it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, keep it mellow. We could probably do this in our residential homes, probably not in a commercial or at the mall and stuff like that. But if we were to teach our children this, maybe at home, in our own private little areas, we could actually start conserving water. Because, if one family has 4 kids, each time that kid goes in there and flushes the toilet just to do the number one, we lose a lot of water. So I'm curious as whether the congressman can adopt this little idea and pass it around to the rest of the city or whatever.
Okay. We get the picture.
Well, look, I think
don't know that's going to work.
I do believe that we should all do what we can to conserve water, but we have to understand that this was a government-made problem. This area should have water. This is a dry year, no question, but it's because of things like the San Joaquin River settlement and the Delta pumps being off. That's what's causing us to mine our aquifer, because we're supposed to use that aquifer as a bank account. So when we have a dry year like this year, well, we just pump the water from the ground and we all have plenty of water.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of water from underground, a lot. And they're going like 2,000 feet down in some cases. And do you think some of that water is going to run out eventually?
Yeah, what you're doing is we're draining down our reserve bank account.
Yeah.
Because the Delta pumps aren't running and we're letting water go out the San Joaquin River. Those two main sources of water are what fill up our aquifer. So now our aquifer is basically being taken down, and so this isn't going to be an ongoing problem, which I knew 10 years ago was going to be a problem, and I tried to avoid it. Unfortunately, I was unsuccessful.
What did you try to do?
I tried to stop people from signing this river settlement. I tried to get people focused on building a new reservoir.
Why did they sign this settlement? Why did they sign this deal?
Because they were going to lose in court, which they were going to lose in court. But instead of going to Congress and having Congress bail them out, Congress instead put it into law that they had to give up their water. It was one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen made in my time in Washington. It was a pure capitulation.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me.
Hi.
Turn your TV down, please.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was listening to your guest. I was just referring to your last caller. You can take something like bricks or whatever and put them in your toilet tank so that you don't use so much water. You don't have to have stuff floating around. If you have pets, they occasionally go in there and drink out of your toilet and so forth. The urine floating around might not be such a good idea.
All right.
Urine's not.
People are.
Urine might be clear, but it's still not clean. Okay.
All right. I appreciate the. We're getting all kind. Hey, we're trying. You know, this is a good thing.
Yeah,
this is a good thing because they're offering up ideas on how to save water.
Yep.
All right, a good thing. So they signed this deal. You know, before we go to break, I want to roll the tape on Millerton Lake. Roll that videotape. I want to show you what Millerton looks like. And this is one of the places. See that mound right there I was talking about earlier? That's usually covered with water, Congressman. Look at it now. 40% capacity. Doesn't that just make your stomach turn? Yeah. Look at that.
Amazing footage.
Go ahead and comment. It's taken with a drone, by the way.
Is it really?
Stuff. I think so. That's.
You have a drone?
Yeah.
Ventura TV has a drone now?
We don't have a drone, but we borrowed that footage. It was shot with a drone. But, I mean, isn't this, why is this thing 40% capacity? Why? Because we let the water run out?
We let the water run out. It would have been low regardless. I mean, this is one of the worst years ever. But we let several 100,000 acre-feet of water the last few years go down the river.
All right. Another call. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question?
Good morning, Mr. Congressman. What I want to know is, I know that right now there's a lot of finger pointing as to what caused the problem, but what is Congress or what are you doing yourself now to make sure that this doesn't happen in the future and to rectify the problem? Thank you.
Yeah, well, we have a bill that we passed, both last Congress and this Congress, that fully fixes our water problem for the long term. That bill's passed the House of Representatives. Unfortunately,
3964.
3964.
Right.
Unfortunately, the Senate has yet to act on it. Right. We finally have the Senate has introduced a bill, and now we have to try to get the Senate to pass something so that we can come together and negotiate. Because I think, as most of your viewers know, there's a House and a Senate. House has to act, then the Senate has to act. They have to agree, then you have to have a signature by the President of the United States.
What's the latest with Feinstein? Is she's
trying to pass her bill. But the problem is that our bill fixes the problem, and her bill only solves about 2 or 3% of the problem.
Is hers a watered-down version of yours?
Hers is only a small. If ours solves the problem, 100% of the problem, hers does about 2, 3, 4% of the problem.
Okay. Has her bill gone anywhere?
No, it has not. Not yet.
All right. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Yes, this is a question for Mr. Nunes. I was just wondering, as I hear he has, there's pointing fingers to everyone. There's enough for everybody. I guess enough for everybody. But my question is, what are you doing, Mr. Nunes? There, have you entered any bills or what are you doing to help the situation? Thank you. I'll hear it on the line.
Yeah, well, just to repeat again, the only ability that we have in the House of Representatives is to pass legislation. So we passed legislation the last Congress. We passed a similar bill this Congress, and we've been waiting for the Senate to act.
And they won't act because?
They just haven't acted. I don't know why they haven't acted, but they haven't. So without them acting, it's tough to make a new law. And the callers are right. We have to have a new law made in order for it to happen. But, we have 2 senators in this state that need to take action.
Okay, we are talking with Congressman Devin Nunes about the water situation here in the Central Valley in the Fresno area. 436 MeTV option 11. Got to take a break. Back with our program in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on the program with Congressman Devin Nunes talking about water. We do have another call. Good morning. You're on the program. Your question.
Yes, my question is, I'm being told that there's a little bitty fish up in the Delta that they won't let so much water out because it would become extinct. They say it's only about 2 or 3 inches long. It's not even big enough to eat. I think people are as far as our farmers growing food instead of us not having that food down here in the valley and having to ship it in and cost us more money.
Yeah, it's all about the smelt.
The smelt. Yeah. So
And
what the caller's referring to is, but the smelt is the fish that's not even endangered. It's a threatened species, and that's what they're using to keep the pump shut off.
Yeah.
Is the smelt.
Yeah. You know, Jennifer Buckman, she's the legal authority, or the general counsel, I guess you would say, for the Front Water Authority, and she told me that basically this whole thing is controlled by the biologists. They determine how much water is going to go downstream for the fish, and how much the farmers are going to get. And I don't know if that's true, but she says the biologists really have their hand on the faucet as to how much goes on, how much goes off.
Yeah, but ultimately that's a cop-out, because ultimately the Congress writes the laws. So the Congress wrote the laws that allows for the biologists, allows for the Endangered Species Act to be involved in this. And so it's up to the Congress to change the laws. And so far what we've had happen is the water users around here, they don't want to fight, they don't want to upset people, so we're running out of water because people refuse to fight for their own livelihoods and their own private property.
The biologists have the control because of Congress.
Because of Congress.
Yeah, okay. All right, good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Caller?
Hi, quick question.
Yeah.
While we wait for a bunch of strangers and who aren't even from California to make decisions on our lives here, why is it so difficult for the state to make its own decisions and resolve problems for Californians?
Good question. Thank you.
Well, people have to remember that a lot of the water comes off of federal lands, and a lot of the laws that are impacting the state are federal laws. So that's why it's absolutely a necessity for the Congress to pass a new law and for there to be signed into law by the President of the United States. Anything short of that doesn't allow California to fix its own problem because of both the federal lands and the federal laws that are in place.
All right, another call. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me. Go ahead, caller, quickly.
Good morning. My question is for your guest. Speaker John Boehner recently visited Turkey, and he visited not very long ago. While he was there, he assured the Turkish government that the Armenian Genocide Resolution wouldn't get put on the floor for a vote. Can you say anything about that?
Yeah, that's been a long-standing position by the Congress, that both whether it was the Republicans in charge or the Democrats in charge, they have been unwilling to put the Armenian Genocide Resolution on the floor of the House of Representatives.
I wonder, why is that?
It's real simple. We have an important air base located in Turkey.
Yeah.
So I think the fear always has been that if that passed, that then we would lose access to that air base, and that air base is critical to the efforts all over the Middle East.
And just a reminder, tomorrow, I believe, is the 24th, April 24th, is the 99th anniversary of the Armenian Genocide. So another call coming in. Good morning, you're on Connect with Me.
Hi, I was calling with the water issue regarding the smelt.
Okay.
The thing is, the smelt might not be valuable for us, but somewhere in the ecosystem they may be valuable. We don't know what we're doing to the planet when we lose species.
Yeah, but are they more valuable than human beings?
Well, the food chain, John, that we're on the top of, if we destroy the bottom of the food chain, it's going to affect the top of the food chain. I'm not saying they're more important. What I'm saying is that something feeds on the smelt, and the smelt feed on something else. So I'm not saying that smelt are more important than humans. What I'm saying is, in order to have a healthy planet, we need to have healthy ecosystems. So we need to find a way around that issue. The other issue is we have so many people in a valley that is actually a desert area. We have changed the environment, the humans, with our trees, our agriculture, and so forth. That typically, this is typical the area that we live in. It's an arid area.
All right.
Without irrigation, we have no water.
Okay,
If we need to take shorter showers, if you can shower every other day, that's great. You know, if you can run your water when you shave into the, you know, not have it running while you're shaving.
Right.
Turn your water off while you're brushing your teeth. Do all these kinds of things. Don't plant lawns that suck up the water.
Okay.
Plant
all right.
plants that
We're running
that
short on
don't
time,
get in the
ma'am. We get your point. We're running really short on time. I appreciate it. I believe in protecting the environment too, but isn't there a happy
There's
medium?
no right, but you have to. It's nice to be worried about the ecosystem,
right?
But the facts are these: the government kills more smelt studying the smelt than what the pumps kill. So you can't, it's not about the ecosystem, because fish populations have went up and down. There's a question whether or not the smelt should even be listed as a threatened species. So I agree with the caller that we have to be concerned about the ecosystem, but this has really turned into eco-terrorism, where the environment is not being impacted, but our environment is, in the sake of for no real tangible evidence of any improvements.
And you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about, is having a happy medium. I mean, human beings need the water too. The farmers need the water too. Why are we denying farmers?
We had plenty of water before 1992, when the Congress stepped in and started taking it away.
Yeah.
Between what Congress did in '92 and the lawsuits and the San Joaquin River settlement that passed the Congress, all those laws are what really created this water deficit area.
All right, Congressman Devin Nunes is with us, 436 MeTV option 11. If you call in, we're short on time, so make it quick. We're back in just a moment.
Now, why don't you tell us the whole story right from the beginning? All right, from the beginning. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. My name's Friday. I carry a badge. Police officers.
You any idea who the other man was?
My partner's Bill Gannon.
Program?
We got just one big question.
Yeah.
When?
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program talking to Devin Nunes. He is a congressman in this area. I want to roll the videotape when President Obama came here on February the 14th. That was Valentine's Day. He came to the Central Valley for just a couple of hours. There he is getting off Air Force One. Jim Costa right behind him, Barbara Boxer, Dianne Feinstein. But no, don't mean to touch you, but no Congressman Devin Nunes and no David Valadao. Why? There we're looking at some dry farmland. What happened?
Well, evidently they wanted it to be a partisan issue, and I think it was also sad that the president went to an area that actually has some water.
You were not invited, right?
We were not invited.
And
that's
obviously
correct.
It was a political thing.
Yeah, it became political, which is not helpful for anyone, because at the end of the day, it's the Senate that the House has acted. We've done all we can do. Now the Senate has to act, and it needs a signature by the president.
The ball's in their court, basically. Right. All right, good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question?
Yes, I'd like to know what in the smelt. I'd like to ask Nunes is what's the difference? What does this fish do for our environment? And does it feed something else, or does it keep mosquitoes away? I don't understand what this fish does.
Got it.
Thank you. Great question, and it relates to the other caller. The striped bass, which is a non-native species to the Delta, a lot of fishermen know what a bass is. The striped bass actually eat the smelt, and so we're protecting a species that's being eaten by a non-native species to the Delta, and so basically they are food. They're bait fish. Most people around the world use a smelt for a bait fish. Matter of fact, I went and bought some smelt and presented them before the Congress, before a committee one time.
Mm-hmm.
Just to prove the point that that smelt are readily available.
Yeah.
And that we were keeping the pumps turned off to protect these fish.
Okay, now we've had 3 water rallies, including here in the city of Fresno, one in Tulare. Okay, right before the water rally in Tulare, you sent an email, and I was a little confused by it. And maybe I'm gonna show it to our viewers. Maybe you can kind of clear it up. I'm gonna put only a portion of it on the screen. This is an email written by Congressman Devin Nunes. This is a part one. You say in the email, was surprised to see that the event sponsors, including Friant Water Authority and other groups, have not supported H.R. 3964. That's your bill, which is the only California water bill this Congress has passed in either the House or the Senate. Zero allocation on the east side is a major problem, as we all know. So why don't these groups back the one bill that was finally will finally resolve the water crisis? What point were you trying to make here? Besides the obvious.
Yeah, thank you for putting the email on the air. I really do appreciate that, because it's pretty clear. I mean, Friant water users is a major problem. We cannot get a solution for the bulk of the valley without their support.
Are you saying in this email, as I understand it, that the Friant Water Authority is not supporting you? Instead, they would rather support...
They are not supporting us. That is correct.
They are not on your side?
They are not on our side.
But it seems like you would be on the same side. You want water, they want water. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. So someone's not telling the truth. So that was what I was pointing out. You had people holding a water rally, paying for a water rally, giving out free hot dogs, knowing that they're not offering up a solution, and they're opposing the one bill that would help them.
Right.
So you have a lot of people that are protecting their jobs and not necessarily looking out for the betterment of the valley.
So you were trying to point out in this email, hey, they're not on our side, they're not supporting us, they signed a deal with the opposition.
Right.
So why
are they holding a water rally if they're not why don't they give us a solution instead of holding water rallies?
Gotcha. Okay. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Quickly, short on time.
Real quick, did he plan on being here still in politics in 2017? And if it does swing the Republican way, which I hope it does, is he going to be fighting for valley issues still? Just want to know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the House of Representatives is being controlled by the Republicans. We want to work with Senator Feinstein. We hope that she can pass a bill so that we can get to the negotiating table, because we need something to be passed now. We can't wait till 2017, because every year that goes by, the more water we waste down the river and the more water that gets dumped into the ocean.
All right, second part of that email that you sent, let's put that up, email number 2, and this is just a part of that same email. It says, written by Congressman Devin Nunes, as shown in the past, attempts to appease these radicals don't work. Those efforts always end up with us getting less water. Okay, I was confused by this part when I filled in for Bill Manders on the radio. I didn't know who you were referring to when you're talking about radicals. So maybe you can clear that up here.
Oh, radical environmental groups.
Okay.
The groups that are...
That's what I was confused about.
Yeah.
You were calling the Friant Water Authority radicals.
They're siding with the radical environmental groups.
So maybe they are radicals. I don't know. No, not really.
No, I don't think they're radicals.
They're not radicals.
I think that they are in they got themselves into a bad position that they can't seem to get themselves out of, because they have layers and layers of lobbyists and lawyers and consultants and managers.
Can they legally get out of this now, this deal?
Of course, the Congress wrote the laws. I mean, they'll end up back in court, but they should have never left the court. They should have let the judge rule, and they should have came to Congress to allow Congress to fix the law. Instead, what they did is they made a deal with the devil, and then had Congress enact that deal.
Yeah.
And make it permanent law. So they had no more options to go back to court.
How much time left? 30 seconds? You recently, within the last 2 weeks, we got 30 seconds. I wanted to get to this. I know not much time. Benghazi, you held the hearings a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Nothing much came out of it because they're kind of stonewalling.
People are lying about what happened in Benghazi. 4 Americans were killed. I know the survivors personally, and I'm going to continue to try to get to the bottom of this to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
All right. You're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure. Thanks for being on.
Devin
Thanks
Nunes.
for all the callers for calling in, too. That's great.
Okay. Thank you for your time. I appreciate
pleasure.
it. It's precious these days. Hey, thank you for being with us here on the show. Connect with me on MeTV Fresno, Comcast Channel 187. Thank you for your calls. Thanks for your time. Back again tomorrow with another program on MeTV Fresno.
Frigidaire. It means the first electric refrigerator, the first room air conditioner, the first compact electric range. It means a history of innovations that give you the best results and make your home life better. And now we introduce our latest innovation in cooking, the Frigidaire Gallery Range with Symmetry Double Ovens. It's designed to cook multiple dishes at multiple temperatures, so you can prepare the entire meal at the same time. And our latest innovation in cleaning, the Frigidaire Orbit Clean Dishwasher. Its unique wash arm gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.